I'm really good at war. I love war in a certain way.
Including with nukes, yes, including with nukes.
I know more about ISIS than the generals do, believe me.
Nuclear is just the power, the devastation is very important to me.
I want to be unpredictable, 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 unpredictable.
Priorities USA Action is responsible for the content of this advertising.
In 2014, the United States spent nearly $1 trillion on national defense. The military budget alone made up more than the next 7 highest spending countries combined. With nearly 20% of the federal budget going towards defense, it's clear that the economy, as well as the US's international status, are extremely dependent on this continued spending. So why do we spend so much? What exactly is the military-industrial complex? Well, the term is most attributed to President Dwight D. Eisenhower. He was one of the highest-ranked generals in US history and served during World War II. As he left office in 1961, he advised that military power was necessary to maintain peace. However, he warned against the military-industrial complex, or the self-perpetuating relationship between the economy, the military, and the government. In the mid-1940s, the US government began shifting away from producing all of their own military equipment. Instead of attempting to create monopolized government industries, they started offering defense contracts to private companies. As military technology became increasingly complex, the amount of money the government was willing to spend increased as well. This led to massive payouts and intense competition to secure those defense contracts. The Cold War created a situation where no direct fighting was going on, but the US was still forced to militarily outspend their enemy, the Soviet Union. This led to massive spending and military stockpiling, costing over $10 trillion. Today, the Department of Defense employs 3 million people directly. They also indirectly employ another 3 million through defense contracts. 2.5 million more are employed through the US military. Effectively, a good portion of the US economy relies on the ability of the government to continue financing war planning. Massive companies like Lockheed Martin and Boeing derive significant percentages of income from defense contracts. This cycle incentivizes continued military expansion. Unfortunately, this expansion is based on a necessity to defend oneself. When there's no threat, there's no reason to invest, and millions could be out of a job. Some have described the situation as creating a psychological, moral, and material interest in propagating military development and international crisis. In his farewell address, Eisenhower said, "We must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought by the military-industrial complex." There's no question that that's already happened. But whether or not it has led to abuses of power or a decay in liberty and democracy is an often debated topic. Considering the substantial impact of the military in the US's political, economic, and social process, it certainly seems like it may be too deeply ingrained to ever go back. If you want to learn more about how the military-industrial complex manifests itself in actual wars, check out our video on private defense contractors fighting overseas.
Private military companies have been said to generate as much as $100 billion a year. However, according to both the Geneva Convention as well as the 2001 United Nations Mercenary Convention, the hiring of mercenaries in armed conflicts is expressly prohibited.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for new videos every day.
Imagine America attack Iran and Iran start attack Israel. You remember one time Iran and America did back Iran against Saddam Hussein, and now Iran is one of them major enemy. And then Russia now is in between everybody, they know, because Russia have tried to test out some of them things and them have not test it out, so them just hopes a war can start that they can test out some of them things, just like North Korea. It's a terrible world we're living in here right now with these mad and crazy people. Yeah, it's terrible. China wrote a catch back and a watch. Because China no want nothing to North Korea, but yet still them since North Korea is a menace just now, so them have to chop up themselves and figure out what is what and what is not. So we have to look at it and take it serious. We know we have a domestic thing down here, so and thing, but it's like you prepare for a storm. We have to prepare for the storm. We can't just catch match and I believe say, everything alright and Yankee Doodle Doodle and America is just fine and done the place and all. The man them have nuclear devices trained at America. Trained at America. And you see we go in America between the whole weekend, yeah? 2 murder right now. One start kill people just so, and then the next one say, I'm going to kill all white people. And brother just get up and say, right now, I'm going to kill every white people when we can't find it. And he start fire shot. Him say, I'm not going to kill the Hispanics them. Nobody have color. So him pass a car and see a Hispanic in there. And when him look over the other side of the car, is a white man, him say, him just fire shot and the car and shot the white man. And him a walk around the road and see the next white man and just fire shot and shot the white man. And him a decide, say, boy, I'm going to kill white people. Crazy place that. America. Crazy place, Rasta. Believe you me. So, even though we know about the food, clothes and shelter, and so, we have to take a stock Jamaica, so now, because what happened outside been going on for a long time too, economically. What happened in the world affect we economically, especially what happened in America. And people want to feel say America is this heaven, just like our grandparents did feel say England was, the streets of England were paved with gold. Only that when them go there, them find Queen Elizabeth and the coal. And them have to just stay there. Some of them kind of make it, but most of them didn't. And now the children of those people who went on the banana boat and who went to look better life in England realize that now them in a serious problem because the migration thing I will take England to and France and Australia. Australia decide now say them are going to have some serious thing are going on. Australia is now deciding that them going to give less work permit to foreigners. Less work permit. So I don't know how that are going to affect we now because you know say Australia, England, America, all them places connected, you know, Canada. And we who have a visa named O1 visa as artists, as musicians, who them give because them say we have unique talent coming to them country to come earn some money. I don't know what will happen now. Why was to expire, but the bulk of my movement is not in America still, but we don't want to know, say, if we are go somewhere, we can in transit to America.
In 2014, the United States spent nearly $1 trillion.
It's a problem, because we can go straight to Europe, you know, and go to Africa. You can land in a Belgium from Montego Bay. You can land in a Holland from Montego Bay, or France from Montego Bay, and then find yourself in Africa. Or you can go another, well, Panama is another way, but you don't have no flight. You have to go through either America or Europe. It's a serious problem that we go to Africa. And most of my things now in America. Most of my things now in America, even though I know say most artists, them things in America. But for those of us who have a O1 visa, and you want to renew it, it's a serious thing I go on, you know, because if the Australian them shout out and say them are going to lessen them visa, them work permit visa policy, and Britain look like them really are going like say them want do the same thing too. And you know, say America, a Trump started, a Trump start this migration, immigration business for people. But we're going to see what happen. We're going to see what happen because we have to find a way. We have to find a way. And this long-awaited move for plane leave from the Caribbean go to Africa. You know, say, they are going to wake up, you know. These Africans and these people from the Caribbean, so they are going to wake up and realize, say, it's a certain nationalism going on here, so now. But them pass the stage of globalization, you know. The idea of nationalism now is where we see a beard area now because them have all election are going in Europe, you know, where so it look like the right. Everybody are move right. I don't know how I call it right. So we are wondering now if we, you know, say if we wake up, because if we have to go to Africa And it's shorter from here, so if we go to Africa on the west coast than if we go through America, if we go through Europe. Hey, you know how much hours me take for reach Africa, Rasta? Me left here in the day. If me left here in the morning, 9 o'clock, me reach in Africa in the night, 9 o'clock. And that's a west coast. So you left here, so now you go boom. Kingston, Atlanta, Paris, boom, west coast. And now flying that, you can go Kingston, Atlanta, Ghana, straight. Or you can go from Montego Bay, go in Belgium, and go in Gambia, go in West Africa, go in Ivory Coast, go in Nigeria and them places. And yes, you have to take Air France. I want with the African them not to say the thing a bubble. It's a bubble. And we have to recognize that. Because we don't stop go Africa. We don't stop go Africa. We're not going to make sure we can't go America with life end. Because most only for artists who them did say them not allow in America. Them still about. Them still about. And we know them not suffer. It's not like say you want to go to America, go earn some dollars, but if you don't have the opportunity to go there to earn the dollars, you're not going to go throw down your hand and say, boy, life done. Even though a whole heap of Jamaican people see it that way. A whole heap of Jamaican people see it that way, you know. A whole heap of youth now we are going to university. Film intention is not to stay in Jamaica, you know, but to go abroad, go make a money because none work not there for him. No job not there for them. You understand? Even though they tell you about go to university, that you can get a good education, that you can get a good job and earn some big money. It's lie them a tell. Lie them a tell. So now them a institute something now where all those who can't pay them school fee, them are going to help you pay it. But you have to spend some time and work for them. A kind of apprenticeship business under them and work it out, that you can work out back your... Nothing wrong with that still, but they make it in such a way where that is something that is not something that you have a choice, but you have to do it because you can't pay your school fee. So it's like them set the bar so high with the school fee them. And then tell you say, in order to be a real professional, you have to get some degree. And then now, you know who can't afford it. One of them little poor people where them pick me, I go high school, that's now for go to university. When them set the bar now, them say, watch out. Whether deliberately or ignorantly, them set the bar high, you go to the university, pass the exam, go to university, you can't pay the school fee, so them tell you say, all right, you want now. We are going to pay the school fee for you, but you have to stay here and work it out back. Wow. Wow. This is the cutting edge on RFM. Brand new music. Brand new music. Medication. Your medication. We are talking about this outside forces, outside there where can affect where everyday life and how we maneuver ourselves in the system where now cater for we. Because when white people start killing white people, you know, them get everybody else involved in it and talk about it's a world war. You see, so when them have World War I, Europeans are killing Europeans. When them have World War II, Europeans are killing Europeans. People don't call it tribal war, you know, them say it's a world war. Certain people never involved in it, but them say it's a world war. So you know, say if Russia and America fight, them are going to say it's a world war. Right now it's a Cold War going on. Who are tant, who not tant, who. Syria, they on the board. Turkey, I tell you, the Turks have that ramp door. So we have to really take a stock and our leaders, them so idiotic and so fool that them just a follow back America, so I don't understand, say, really and truly, you can't line yourself with certain things and all. You have to really look out for your people, them. You understand? And them not really have no way. It's like how them have the airport, you know. and you train the people them for certain thing, but you know train the people them for the new attack we are going like a terrorist attack. You know, see that you talk about tourism, and tourism is a big thing, but you know, no, you know, set nothing in place in case a guy feel for try a thing in at the airport or something. Them little training with them people they have is only for search people think for go find ganja or cocaine. That's all them know for do. Them don't know about nothing else, how to maneuver around certain people and observation and eye contact and all them something there where them people they use in them country to observe people. Even the monitoring system, them need to upgrade the monitoring system in at the airport them. We're not ready for all these things, these new ways of doing things. See, man, I take bus and a car and I drive in a crowd and I kill people and all them. It's a different world we are living in. Man, I jam computer. See, America jam up the North Korean computer, the man go like say no, them a do it. The guy, them a try, try out the missiles. And every time they set up a missile, it don't work. And then the truth, them don't know what to do, you know. It's somebody there hacking at them computer and make the thing not work. But them soon find out, say them still. Them soon find out, say some outside forces are work the thing. This is the cutting edge. Right? Yeah, cutting edge. You know, this tonight we're going to play. Well, by now you must know Emperor Haile Selassie came here in 1966. April 1966. This time. So, we're going to play a documentary on the visit of Emperor Haile Selassie soon. We're supposed to do an interview because we can get that virgin to interview, and then we're going to play that tape, the visit of Emperor Haile Selassie to Jamaica.
When I look at Africa, many questions come to mind. Many times I ask myself, what would happen if Mwalimu were to rise up and see what is happening? So we have engineers who cannot even make roads. We have doctors whom we have trained. But when we are sick, particularly if we are of the political class, depending on who colonized you, if you are colonized by the United Kingdom, you rush to London. If you are colonized by the French, you rush to Paris. If you are colonized by the Portuguese, you rush to Lisbon. And if you are colonized by the Spaniards, you rush to Madrid, Spain. And recently, because the Asians are beginning to get their act together, we run to India. And very lately, because the Arabs are also beginning to get their act together, we run to Dubai. Notwithstanding that we have the Kenyatta hostels of this country, the Muhimbilis of Tanzania, the Chris Hani Baragwanaths of South Africa, and the Mama Yemos of Kinshasa in Zaire or the Democratic Republic of Congo, but we have no faith in our doctors. In the area of education, we also don't have faith. Our political class introduced something that they call free education, but it's free indeed, free of knowledge. Because they are so suspicious of those institutions that the typical African politician would not dare take their children to those schools. Their children will be educated in the British system, in the American system, so that when they graduate, they go to the United Kingdom, to the United States. Not that there is anything wrong with those institutions, but the agenda is wrong because our leaders long lost the script and ought to be described for who they are, our misleaders. But we are co-authors of our own misfortune. Whenever we are given an opportunity to elect our leaders, we are given a blank check. And if you permit me a little latitude, and if you give me a blank check, and you allow me to analogize, and you say that I'm given the blank check to buy a Mercedes-Benz, what we do is that when we are called upon, having been so empowered, we buy what one calls a tuk-tuk from India and expect it to behave like a Mercedes-Benz. How does that happen? Because what we do is to elect thieves. We elect hyenas to take care of goats, and when the goats are consumed, we wonder why.
Yes, we will continue to play that because it's a very important talk about what would Marcus Garvey, Jomo Kenyatta, what would Kwame Nkrumah, what would all these African leaders say now if they were alive, and see what is taking place in Africa and the Caribbean? Because a lot of what him say is totally relevant here too. Yeah, the neo-colonialism of our thinking is embedded deep in the social fabric of all of the countries them that was colonized as now. So when we think so when it come outside, we have neo-colonialism, capitalism. Neo-colonialism is not the slave master colonizer anymore, but the slaves themselves who thinks them free become so bossy with them jacket and tie that them help to enslave the people again. And most of the enslavement is socio-political and economical and cultural. And you know, when you get dominated culturally, knowing that culture defines the people, and culture is the highest discipline in the structure. When you talk about politics, when you talk about economics, when you talk about all the things that when you want to study at school, all of them come from culture. Culture, they are the top of the pyramid, if you want to put it that way. All the other one them is at the base. Religion, all of them derive from culture. And when we give up culture, we give up economical, social, political, religious, all of the others them that can define a people. And that is what them do with we now. Them have them things in place, them law and them orders in place. And we do things and feel that we are doing it of our own initiative. But it has been embedded in us so much that a university student actually believe that if they go to the university now and spend how much years there and get a something behind them name or in front of them name or behind back of them name, they will become people who can get better jobs and make big money. But look at what is taking place. Look at what is taking place. It's a serious problem we find ourselves in now. How do we get out of it? If we understand it, for us have to know, say, you know, Harriet Tubman, that famous lady who used to take Africans out of slavery and carry them to the north, move them from the south and carry them to the north into more freer pastures. She said, I have freed many of slaves, but I could have freed many more if only they knew they were slaves. Harriet Tubman, that Black Moses woman, says, I'm going to repeat it again. She said, I have freed many slaves, but I could have freed many more if only they knew they were slaves. Think about that. You know, 20 odd years we have freed some slaves, but we could have free more if only they knew that they were slaves. And that is a serious thing. If you have a radio program like this, our Cabo radio program, I go on for how much years now. It's not in vain. We have freed many slaves. Many slaves using the microphone and the media. But we could have freed so many more if they knew they were slaves. Now, you know, so this weekend mark the 50th anniversary of the commemoration of Emperor Haile Selassie I to Jamaica, 1966. And as usual, at the University of the West Indies, Neville Hall Lecture Theatre, they're going to have a reflection on the visit of Emperor Haile Selassie. And that is at Neville Hall Lecture Theatre, that's at the University of the West Indies, on Friday, April the 21st, from 6 p.m. So for those of you who can make it, try and make it. They will be having speakers there. I see Mel Tawada name on it, as his sister Mitzi, Ras Ivy, and Franklin St. Jules on it. So for those of you who can make reflection on the visit of Emperor Haile Selassie I to Jamaica in 1966, and this is the 50th anniversary commemoration of the visit of Emperor Haile Selassie. And we see where the 12th tribe of Israel is also commemorating this glorious time period in Jamaican history. As usual, they're going to have a concert at the headquarters there at 81 to 83 Hope Road. This is happening on the 21st also of April, this weekend. So we want to know that these things is taking place. And as we said before, we have an interview to do with this brethren, and after that we're going to play a tape that recognizes the visit of Emperor Haile Selassie I. We're going to hear that tape. We have played it many times before, but we can't play it too much time. We can't play it too much time, believe you me. Nothing that we do and repeat over and over upon this program. We can't do it too much time, because sometimes you hear something different where you never hear before, or some people, even though we played so much time, never did hear it when we did play it the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth time. So it is our duty to sink it in. Yes, our duty to sink it in, that you can get the message, because it's all about the message. It's all about how we transmit what we have to say through the airwaves so that it can connect. So that it can connect. And that is what it is all about. It's all about connection. How we connect. So, we're going to play it again. We want to, as we say, make this connection here. We're going to go to this brethren here and see. So, make a line up something here and see if him up on the line here. Mama Warriors. Out of Trenchtown. Ready for this? Oh no. Well, what is happening here? That get a skid so, alright. Go back to something else. Yeah, we are waiting for this brethren. I see him up on the line, you know. Ajamo, Langwaya, I could say, blessed? Yell? What? Get cut off. A serious thing. How we are going? Man get cut off, you know. Who outside there? The man get cut off. So him get cut off. Him get cut off, you know. Eh? Him get cut off. Then I get him back? Alright, so I could play a little tune and see if we can get him back. Final thing, yeah. Okay, here we go. Ajamo?
Yes, Ajamo here.
Blessed.
I was cut off, you know?
Yeah, that's how it go. That's how it go. Electronics name. So good afternoon, sir. Good evening.
Yeah, man. Good evening, Muta. How are you doing?
I'm totally okay. Yeah. We spoke to you already last year. What a different subject.
We talk about the Walter Rodney and
yes.
There's another event that we talk about also, you know?
Yeah, so we want to talk about reparations. We said, I was told that you have an article, the Caribbean reparation movement must put capitalism on trial. Tell me what the connection between the reparation movement and capitalism.
Well, capitalism is the economic system that gave rise to racism. And what we find right now in the Caribbean and I think across the global African community around the reparations question is that we focus on white supremacy or racism that is the child of capitalism. Because capitalism used racism as a kind of moral, ideological justification, talking about the inferiority of Africans, making them well-deserving to be enslaved. And actually enslaving them will bring them up in the scale of civilization. But it was done for an economic reason, and the economic system that created it was capitalism. But right now, we're fireburning capitalism, racism, white supremacy, but the very system that continues to exploit African labor, the economic system called capitalism, we don't put it on trial. We act as if all we need is Africans to get a part or a place at the table of capitalism and things will be better for all of us. But if we look at white working class people in Europe, in North America, they must suffer. They must suffer less than the African working class people. So even if we have reparations payment from Britain to the Anglophone Caribbean or from Europe to the Caribbean, we're still going to have the economic system creating class differences between Africans who are wealthy or part of the petty bourgeoisie, the middle class, and the Africans who only thing they have to do to sell is just their labor. So we must put capitalism on trial. We must search for a different economic model when it comes to economic development and an economic system that comes with economic and social justice.
All right, so you tell me now, what economical model would you suggest for the liberated African people?
When we deal with the economic model, it must have some features. The workplace must be owned by the workers. The workers and community should control the economic resources. It shouldn't be owned by a few people, a small minority, and we working for them. When the economic returns, or what they call profit, or the outcomes of economic activity, must also be controlled by the people who work it, because here in Jamaica, the working class creates the wealth. But we live in a poverty and we'll suffer. And the minority will simply sit on top of at board of directors or control companies. They are the ones living well. But without our work, they can't live well. So under a new economic system, the people must control the fruits of their labor.
All right. So the new system we are talking about, is it really new, or get a name? Well, what you call economical zone? Because it sounds like we hear that economical system before, but you know, tell me the name of it.
Oh, well, if I'm given the name, it will be a socialist system.
Okay,
and
so
socialism is nothing new.
You could have said socialism before even going through what the workers control and what, you know, well, I think most people know the idea of socialism is exactly how you put out, which evolved through, and then communism reached there. All right, so socialism is what you're talking about.
Well, socialism and communism, to me, are interchangeable terms. What we see, what happened in the former Soviet Union, it wasn't a communist system, it was a state socialist system where the state becomes like a capitalist and essentially rule over the working class. It was never a communist society.
So tell me what society where you can use as an example for this model where you're talking about.
Well, we haven't established that.
No, yes. So you don't have no precedents with set nowhere in the world with that.
No, it's that we have to create that model. Because one of the things with also as people, we can think abstractly of an idea, and then we go about trying to put it into practice. So not because an idea, you can't see it anywhere concrete. Because one of the things with also as people, we can think abstractly of an idea, and then we go about trying to put it into practice. So not because an idea, you can't see it anywhere concretely. You may see bits and pieces of it. Because because remember here in Jamaica, in the 1970s, we had a sugar worker cooperative where the workers nominally control the sugar factories, and they call those worker cooperatives. Yeah. There were problems with it because even within the Michael Mann administration, you had ministers who were opposed to it. You had people in the Ministry of Agriculture, you had landowners that didn't like the idea that regular working class people, the descendants of enslaved Africans, were controlling or attempting to control the place that they work, essentially own their workplace and trying to manage it collectively. So we can draw an example, and we can look at Tanzania and see what they did with Ujamaa and say, okay, what were some of the best elements in these systems? We can look at even Mondragon in Spain, where at the center of this cooperative complex are a number of, hundreds of worker cooperatives.
All right,
so we can draw examples across the world. And so
all right, really, you know what? The problem I have with people who spout socialism, communism, and capitalism, when it relates to African people, them don't study the history, culture, and heritage and the institution that was in Africa before slavery, and ask the question, what were the Africans doing before these people got to Africa, and how did they maneuver themselves to become such great people before slavery? I don't hear none of these socialists, because most of the time when I hear them draw from Germany, them draw from France, them draw from China, them draw from Russia, yet still them are talk about a liberation for Africa. So what is it that should be done then in order to get people who, and I'm assuming that you is one of them, who I said socialism, but yet still never study the history and culture of Africa, and so you can implement a lot of the things that was in Africa before, that developed institutions in Africa before the Europeans go there, and then now see how you can best deal with it here. Because when you talk about Manley period in the 70s, you still talk about a European idea of how to govern African people, and using the model of European in socialism or communism, you still fall back in a system where it's not designed for African people. We have to design something for African people that come from before slavery. Studying the intellectuals have to study what were the Africans doing outside of Europe before slavery and see what we can draw from that to deal with it here. So because we continue to say, all right, capitalism can't work, and then we go now and go to Europe again, go get socialism or communism. I don't know if it's going to work neither.
Well,
what is about that?
No, I agree that when you're organizing a people, your culture is an important part of it, and it's for that reason why the approach that I take to economic development also draws on African history. If you look in terms of the governance model among the Igbo, among the Nuer in Sudan, they had an anarchical political system, or even the Balante in Guinea-Bissau today. They didn't have chiefs and leaders. So when we talk about African history, we probably talk about African histories because you had different societies. Because in the work that Rodney did in the Upper Guinea Coast, there were leaders in hierarchically organized societies. Top down, they had defined leaders. They were in collusion with the capitalists coming from Europe to capture Africans and bring them to North America to make money. But in the societies that they had a very democratic system of governance where each person and adults inside the community participated in their political governance. And in those societies, they didn't really have the hierarchy we'll find where you are chief or you're a king and then these are the subjects. You had a more horizontal, equal relations between people. Those are the societies.
So you say in the societies where chief exists,
right?
You wouldn't give credence to that society in terms of a political society?
I look among the Igbo and look at their governance system where they truly had a democratic system there. In those societies, you didn't have like an economic elite who essentially function as a parasite, do no work, but because they control the labor of the regular people, they could live well and they could perpetuate themselves. The societies that participated in slavery in Africa, predominantly, they were like king-led or chief-led societies. The societies that had democratic structures.
All right, so, hold on there. Before the idea of slavery come up in the African mind, this chief was in governance of, like in a Ghana, you did have the chief then. All right, you tell me now, what is it that you have a problem with a governance where a chief is or a king or a president, not president, a chief, a king, or whatsoever, a pharaoh, whatsoever them call them. What is the problem with that hierarchy as it relates to how the society in Africa? Not now, we're not talking about the invasion of Europeans into that society.
Pre-colonial Africa.
Yeah, pre-slavery, yes.
Because in Egypt, what we love to call Kemet, and I don't look to Egypt as the model of a great society. In order for the king and the pharaohs to live well, they had to have a bunch of workers that they control and who the wealth produced by the people at the bottom is what allow an elite, an economic and a political elite to live well. So when people are saying that we as Africans coming from a long line of kings and queens, I lie them I tell. Them don't know them at all because I don't now come from a long line of kings and queens. It's like a bunch of poor people and white people in Britain that say, oh, I come from a long line of kings and queens. That would be absurd because them come from the class who produce the wealth that enable the small economic and political minorities to live well. So that's why in Africa, I have a problem with king and queen.
But more communists and socialists would have a problem with it. But when I say now, what you offering is a society that is based upon a European philosophy. So you are saying that the philosophy that you have now will be a model for end the chieftain, the kington, the capitalism and them things. But you can't show me a society that define itself in a that system. So what me really say is really something most people have in their mind and them hope for. You know, faith is the substance of things hoped for and evidence of things not seen. So most political socialists, when me hear talk, and communists when me hear talk, is like Christian, where them say, them hope for a society where there is no lower class, upper class, but everybody's just one and we just live in harmony and peace. It's a similar thing, but it's a political idea rather than a religious idea.
But Brethren, is it different from those of us who want justice? Because where can we point to and say, here's a model of justice?
No, what, here to itself. You know where we can point to?
We want an end.
No, wait there. I am not saying that we must slam bam go Africa and draw out in Africa. You know. I am saying, given our experience in the West, so, we must be able to look into Africa before colonialism, before slavery, and find systems. Because Africa is not just one place, you have different systems there. We can find systems and then use it. And then use it now at our disposal. I don't see a chief as a problem to a society. If the chief can get corrupt, just like the communists and the socialists get corrupted and start to become dictator, it's a similar thing. So we are trying to talk about idealism when there's no idealistic idea, there's no idealism there. More than say, here comes another idea of a government. But that idea of a government is still drawing mostly from the European idea.
Because when I'm talking about political governance, when I'm saying that I'm looking the societies that we and the Africans in the West like to rape in Africa, and the societies that I despise, the Mali, the Ghana.
Yeah, but
those societies that were ruled by kings and queens. I look to the smaller societies.
Yeah, but not no wrong with king and queen. No wrong with king and queen. King and king get corrupted just like a socialist and a communist.
No, they corrupt.
Socialists get corrupt. Socialist communists get dictatorship. Them communists because
it had to be like that.
Or had to be like what? Well, if a chief get corrupt, it had to be like that. So you can't. No, you can't. Hold on, brethren. You can't tell me now, say a communist or a socialist cannot become a dictator and get corrupt. But a chief, but a chief in Africa, because of how him in Africa, him can get corrupt. All of them is susceptible to corruption.
Muta.
Yes.
You ever hear about a youth named Mikhail Bakunin?
No, tell me what.
An anarchist from Russia. He was battling Marx and saying that in a society in which the state holds almost supreme power will be a vicious society, more vicious than even a capitalist society with respect to the level of freedom and straightforward.
Who is saying that? Who is saying that? The Russian? The Russian said that?
Bakunin was saying that any society in which you have a group of people rule over others and can tell you what to do and not to do, it will
so which society? So give us an example of a society that don't have that.
Well, I'm saying the Igbo societies are very,
hold on, Virgin. Give us a society. Wait there. You see the Russian thing, man, where you are talking about, you know? Give me a society. This idealism of socialism and communism that you talk about. Give us a society right now. Because it's the same thing I got ask a Christian, you know. When they say Christianity, this and Christian say, give me a society now. That the ideal what you spouting now, I can say, look on that now, and this is the model. Show me the society.
Brethren, you can't indict an idea.
No, I never indict the idea. No, what I'm no, you know why you're not indicting the idea? I'm not indicting the idea, no. Because you were saying that you're not into chief. You say not into chief and king and them something. Right. All right, and I said to you now, this is part of African culture. chief and king. And you say, no, chief and king get corrupt. And I tell you, say...
No, they don't get corrupt by their very nature. They are it's like
them rule over the people. You must not have a society where rule over the people. That's what you are talking about.
No.
I tell which society that you don't have people that rule over the people? Which society that you know that?
Well,
unless it's anarchy, you want anarchy then.
Pre-colonial Africa, you know.
So make a work with anarchy. Where you think about anarchy? Where you think about anarchy?
Well, anarchy is the only system of government and economic control that can function, because it doesn't sanction a person exercising power over others.
All right, so give me a society that is truly anarchy.
We have none.
Okay, so that means anarchy is an idea then. Anarchy is an idea.
No, Britain, we see elements of the practice of anarchy that we're saying that if this should become generalized, then it will go. If we look at in terms of even during their civil war, when the anarchists in Barcelona essentially exercise economic control, they control the factories, they organize social life differently. They were defeated by the fascists with German support and also with the betrayal of the Russian socialists in Spain. But that is an example of the possibilities.
All of them is possibilities. All of them is possibilities.
But Gretchen, then when we're pursuing justice, what do you think we're pursuing? Possibilities.
Of course, of course.
I would now indicted because we say, oh, should not realize this.
Any country, but socialism, communism has been tried. Communism has been tried.
No, communism has never been tried.
Communism has never been tried.
It's socialism in Russia. If you have a communist society, there are three primary features of a communist society. One,
that is the theory of communism. That is the theory of communism.
No, not theory. We're not theory. We're talking about
a theory of communism. We are talking about, Bridget.
One of the features of it.
Like which society? Like if you have a communist society, like which society?
When we look at the Igbo,
no, Igbo is not a communist society. Brethren, Igbo is not a communist society.
No, listen me out now.
No, tell me which society.
Colonial society. No, they didn't have a state.
I ask you a question. Brethren, you talk about communism, and I say, you never have a communist society.
There's never been a communist society.
All right, so it's you are hoping one day that there will be a true communist society.
Not it's a true communist society. There will be a communist society.
Communist society. All right.
It's a stateless society.
All right, but all right. So let me ask you a question. You believe in Christianity?
You believe in Christianity?
Yeah, you believe in a Christianity?
No,
why you don't believe in a Christianity? Christianity is an ideal.
I believe in the Christianity that believes in overthrowing oppressive society.
Yeah, and
I believe in the Christianity. I would say you take up arms to rid society of repressive. That's I believe
Christianity. What are you talking about? Christianity. Christianity as laid down by the New Testament, and that may I ask you. Christianity as it is laid down in the New Testament. If you believe in that Christianity.
No, the Christianity.
All right, so you don't believe in that, but you don't believe. So that is an ideal. That is an ideal that men search for. Who is embedded in Christianity? Them search for this ideal where you're going to be at a place where there is no debt, no first class, second class, and everything is just love and kindness and understanding. What's wrong with that thinking? What is wrong with that thinking?
Nobody's gonna disagree with progressive.
No. Me ask you what. So nothing wrong with that thinking, then. Nothing wrong with that thinking.
No. Nothing is wrong with that political or social possibility or the vision. Nothing wrong with that.
Okay,
because
all right.
Even in Jamaica today, if Christians say they really believe in Christianity, my thing is that they follow the Christianity of Sam Sharp and the Christianity of Paul Bogle.
Oh, you know that Sam Sharp didn't follow Christianity. No. Brethren, you know that Paul Bogle didn't follow Christianity.
Oh, we know that?
Yeah. Because he was a deacon in the church.
He was a deacon, but in addition to that, nihilism.
Yeah, go back, check out Paul Bogle and see him.
Jamaica, because the thing is that many Sam Sharp,
Yeah.
Most of them are practice Christianity, but nihilism was there, and even if you look at
yes, of course, African retentions was there.
Yeah, because what we're saying is that the Africans are using the Baptist church.
Right. So we get somewhere we realize it. Yes.
But
So,
it's nihilism, the African first
right.
Caribbean
Yeah.
religion.
So we know that.
That was really directing
Paul Bogle.
Movement.
Paul Bogle. Yeah. All right.
Bogle and the same thing
So even though he was a deacon, he never come out of nihilism tradition.
No.
All right. So
what them use Christianity and are Baptist
up front. All right. Just like all of them, just like Nat Turner, just like all of them. So when I ask you now, so when I say to you now, as a socialist, right? We are spout socialism, and you say no, you not deal with no king and you not deal with no chief and them talking, because them people there and that system of governance have something what you call hierarchy.
Right.
And in your socialism thinking, philosophy, there's no hierarchy. Now that you say?
True.
But only the thing with it is that it is something that you hope for.
It's something that you're working for.
You hope for it.
You have to work for it, and you don't just hope for it, you know.
Yeah, and I am saying
the reason we have here.
Anyway.
I think if the people start to explore the possibilities of a society without class, because the minute we destroy a class society,
tell me. So you see, it's hard to ask you if there is any class in a socialist society, because you can't show me a society that way. But you can say it in your mind that there is no class in a socialist society, but you can't show me an example of a society that do have no class. So I can conjure up anything in my consciousness, you know, and say, well, this society that I am searching for is a society that do have no class.
No, Brother Muta, you see, wherever the state exists, class exists.
Yes.
So even the former Soviet Union in Cuba,
it have class.
The state exists to guarantee
of course, but it's a class.
One group over another.
Yeah, but
a minority.
Yeah, but that is a practical. But that is a practical society where you are saying it's not communism and it's not socialism. That is why you are saying, you know, you are saying Cuba is not a communist country. Russia is not a
communist society.
All right, no. And Russia is not a communist society, nor a socialist society. I have said to you now that where you are spout, it's something where you have in your mind, where you hope for, would happen. Because you can't show me a society that is defined in the thinking where you are saying. Because when you don't tear down all of the society, then when you don't tear down
the fact that we don't live in a anti-racist society or a non-racist society, we still pursue the ideal.
Because I never say you must I never say you must pursue the ideal, you know. I say that you cannot come to me now and I say societies will have chief and king, you not deal with that society. Because so you are fireborn a society, but you can't show me a society where I deal with what you are deal with. Because it's something you are hope for.
Bertrand, and I tell you frame it, you know, you make it seem as if the absence of the goals that the general were pursued.
No, I say it's a theory. It's a theory. It's a theory that maybe you cannot attain it.
African liberation, isn't it a theory? Since we don't have a liberated African society, or liberated African people across the world.
No, I don't say no. I said to you. No, I said to you, the ideas of communism, which we hear that communism, America is not America. Russia is a communist country, China is a communist country, Cuba is a socialist country. All of these stories we hear about these countries.
A lie. No. Born lie.
You never, no, I never said not a lie. I never said not lie, no. I never said not lie, you know. I say, people say, Castro is a communist or a socialist. Michael Manley.
He's a communist, but he doesn't.
Michael Manley was a socialist, democratic socialist. Russia is a communist country. China is a communist country. All of these countries supposed to be communist countries. The purists say none of these countries is communist or socialist.
It's not even the purists. It's based on the definition.
Hold on.
Yes.
This Thursday, join me, Amber, DJ Smurf, and our friends from the Jamaica Cancer Society, St. Anne and St. Mary branches, in partnership with Consumer Brands Limited Health Fair at the Ocean Village Car Park, Ocho Rios. We're going to have live links between 9 a.m. and 12 noon. Come out and be educated about the importance of prevention and early detection of cervical cancer, and get your free pap smear, blood pressure, blood sugar, and HIV test. That's a live outside broadcast from the Jamaica Cancer Society's Health Fair at the Ocean Village Car Park, Ocho Rios, on the nation's #1 reggae radio station, IRE FM.
Keisha, last night me take your husband no a bus, and even though the road bad, the bus drives smooth. I want him to tweet. Well, him say some new shocks him buy name Perfect Choice, me dear. Perfect Choice. Him say him buy them for almost half the price of the other brand. Enough savings that in these hard times, you know, my love. You can get them at any leading auto parts island-wide. Boy, me have to go tell Jeffrey about them shocks here. Cause when him dip on the smooth road, him car still a shake. So thanks, here. You say Perfect Choice, right? Yeah, him really make the perfect choice, my love. Just like when him choose me.
The Acupuncture Center. Discover a new path to pain management with traditional Chinese acupuncture and herbal medicine for the treatment of joint and muscular pain due to arthritis or injury, headaches, migraines, and pain related to gynecological disorders. Located at 12 Augusta Drive, Portmore, St. Catherine. Telephone 927-8473.
Sportsmax Elite League. Come on out to support every top striker in the GFF Sportsmax Elite League, the new under-18 football competition. Support your parish team every Saturday from March 18 to May 27 as they square off for the All-Island crown and over $1 million in cash. Follow Sportsmax TV on Instagram and Facebook for match details and catch live doubleheaders on Sportsmax 2. Sponsored by Sportsmax, Digital Play, Scotiabank, NOA, and the Jamaica Observer. It's the GFF Sportsmax Elite League. Top striker, top striker.
This is the moment he spots the Heineken to capture the cap for a chance to champion the match. For a chance to win a trip for two to a Champions League semi-final, a smartphone, a 50-inch smart TV, or over $4 million in cash and prizes. Nice run-up with the bottle opener. He flicks it, he looks under the cap, enters the code. What will he win?
Because we have something else to feature here. So if the bridge are listening at Juma, at Jumo, call back now because we want to go back in the reasoning and deal with something else. We want to remind you about this poem, Words on Agro Festival, that is April the 30th in a Port Antonio. There's the Neville Antonio Park. That is Sunday, April the 30th. If the brethren are listening, call forward, please.
In the whole wide world, me not joke.
Jam was back on the line again. Yes, doctor.
You notice now the article, there are 6 proposals put forward.
I never read out all of the article. Them just give I the article tonight, yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
I just got the article tonight.
Proposals put forward, and it's informed by my approach to socialism or socialism within the anarchist tradition. In the article, since they're promoting the need for Britain to pay, and they estimate that the reparations payment to just the Anglophone Caribbean would amount to $7.6 trillion. When they calculate up how long slavery took place and also the racism after emancipation, 7.6 trillion that into Britain would hold. But I am saying
and Britain now will give them that. So that to me is another purity.
Okay, we don't know deeper than that. We just look at some, but may I say to the government who are promote or push reparations. Right now, the African working class, is exploited, it's demeaned, it doesn't have no say in the workplace. You should put aside billions of dollars to help the workers own their workplace. So instead of a worker going and working at a wholesaler or at a beer factory or at a sugar company owned by some capitalists, the workers should have the funds so they can take over industries and run it themselves and run it as a collective where the reason why they're in business is not to make profit, but it's to have democratic control over their life and in the economic realm, and also for them to end the economic exploitation of themselves by, by a minority or the capitalist owners. So, there are ways that government can contribute to workers being able to do that. And that's why I'm saying that they should create a worker self-management and entrepreneurship fund that will be used.
Who going to create that? Who going to create that workership management fund? Who's
going to create that?
Because you have to have people in this like mind to deal with that. So who in Jamaica now going to create that?
Well, those of us have that mind.
I mean the reparation people
would go and start to educate the people about, because right now you have some people that look at the whole field them all over the place, and you have an economic minority, ethnic minority, racial minority controlling them. If we say the workers must own the workplace, you have like 10 or 12 workers go and we raise the money to create a whole field.
But you see the people them who think like you, brethren, like the Trevor Monroe's first time, them turn capitalists now, Trevor Monroe and Rupert Lewis and all of these, Peter Phillips, them man they went up at university and had spout communism, socialism. Them turn capitalists too because them realize, the thing get away. So when we look on how even Marcus Garvey look on this communist thing and I say, the communist thing and I work with black people, we have to do something else. What do you think about Marcus Garvey and the idea there? It's a communism.
Well, we fire upon the capitalist.
You fire upon Marcus Garvey.
Marcus Garvey, you see, as a working class, I used to born as a working class.
Yeah.
Garvey inspired me when we read the book Black Moses by this guy named David Cronon.
Yeah.
And, they inspired me as a youth, and I said, wait, look how Garvey come with a similar class position as myself. And it rise to an international status. But when you start
to show it's a communism now,
economic program, you realize that Garvey was a ardent capitalist. He was a strong supporter of capitalism. And my think of capitalism is a very economic system that brought us into slavery. Capitalism is now working for the white working class in Canada and in England and Germany. How is it going to work for the Africans? It can't work for people who are selling them labor to a minority capitalist. Garvey was wrong on that in terms of trying to use the master's tool to destroy the master.
But you use the master tool too. In a very cloudy way, you use the master tool too.
Bridget, I'm not cloudy way.
Yes, you use the master tool because your philosophy is based upon a European idea, just like how capitalism is based upon that. So we have to find a way in between where we say, all right, we have capitalism at work, we have socialism at work. Which one the African people can use, or what is it that we can draw from, and if any, from capitalism, socialism, communism, anarchy, or whatsoever, and see what can work.
The people who take a race-first doctrine, they mix up concepts. Because
I don't mix up nothing. I say race first. I say race first. I don't mix up nothing.
A different system than capitalism.
I don't mix up nothing when I say race first.
Who are the masters? If the workers come up with an oppositional idea,
brethren, this is what I say.
Are we saying the workers are the masters?
Brethren, how much year old is? How much year old the man is? How much year old is?
Me? 51.
Yeah?
51.
51. I can tell you something. You see what I say? It's where most so-called radical black nationalists used to say in the 70s.
Backsliders.
All right.
Political backsliders.
Backsliders. All right now. So you what me I say now. When we look upon this state where African people they are so now, as it relates to reparation, me say, you see this idea about trillions of dollars, it not gonna work out. It not gonna work out. I mean, I don't know illusion about it. It not gonna work out. All right. So we have to look now and say, what can work? Not in the abstract. What can work? Right? That can make African people move forward. Is there something in capitalism that can work for African people? Is there something is there something in socialism that can work for African people? Is there something in communism that can work for African people? What is it that is in this thinking can work for we, and we now must sit down and come to a consensus and say, watch now. This is a capitalism can work, you know. This is a socialism can work, you know. And then when we look on the African tradition, we are get things for wrap up. We are get things for wrap up, you know. Believe you me. Right. Mr. So me never make you go through all of your article, you know, but I couldn't allow you to go through your article when you chat all them talk there. Believe you me. I couldn't just slow and shut up.
We have to come back and reason that because
we have to move.
Solutions in the bridge.
Yeah, me know you have practical solution because Trevor Man know them did have practical solution too. Trust me. And Rupert Lewis, them did that. No, but me hear them story from me a little pick there a technical. And I run up and down with them.
It's a different vibe.
Yeah, me know that you say. Yeah, everybody say different. I see when me hear some youth that
say the man they persecute man like me, you know.
No, I see Bridget.
Russian Revolution.
Yeah, let me tell you something. I see me hear some little youth now was a Rasta. I say the Rasta, the elder them are joke business and them have the right way for the channel. Anyway, we have to move, Bridget. 12 o'clock now. We have to move. Here, sir.
Yeah, man.
Give thanks. Call back. Yeah, man. Harry. Yes. I tell you. Yeah. All right, so at 5 minutes past 12, we don't see the anthem. So I saw it go 5 minutes past 12. I don't know our fault, nor Tracy's fault.
Stepping Razor, Thursdays, 2 to 6 p.m. per IRFM. Coming through.
Nah, man, that no sound like Muta.
How we have a deal with?
Sir. Watch out, twins. Two of you can't make one of me. Stepping Razor. This and every Thursday, 2 to 6 p.m. Yes, Rasta. The art of war.
Everything you always wanted to say but didn't. I'm free.
Forward.
Hi. This is Louis Gangali Culture, and I will be in the artist spotlight this Thursday night at 11:30 p.m. on the Action Track program with a man called GT Taylor, the dancehall master, and the #1 reggae radio station, IFM. Lock in. Tell them we don't fear no boy, no we don't fear, because we want them up, pop it off.
Brothers and sisters, this is Chalice. Join us with respect for our national anthem. Let us stand and defend this one. Peace and love. Thank you.
Eternal Father, bless our land. Guide us with thy mighty hand. Keep us free from evil powers. Do our life through countless times. To our leaders, great defenders, great true wisdom from above. Justice, truth, be ours forever. Jamaica, land we love. Jamaica, land we love.
Yeah, this is the Cutting Edge on RFM. All right, so as we say, 50th anniversary of the visit of Emperor Selassie I to Jamaica, and we want to play this tape. But before we play the tape, we're going to play this. Here you go.
I'm going to be ugly now, but I represent the general himself in a life and a living color. Mutabaruka. And you what I say now? If we have to run down the food, we don't want it. If you have to tie up your food with the rope, we don't want it. If it's not healthy, we don't deal with it, you know.
It's just tough. Cutting head, sharp.
Big Brother Massive presents.
Undaunted by the driving rain, a sea of faces awaited at the Palisados airport the arrival of a living legend. To some, he was the King of Kings, the Lion of Judah, even a god. But to most, he was a mild-mannered monarch who had won the respect and admiration of Jamaicans. The air was charged with excitement as anxious, expectant faces searched the skies for the first glimpse of the great silver bird that would bring their hero to Jamaican soil for the first time. Members of a local cult, the Rastafarians, were easily distinguished by their long beards and unshorn locks, and who worshipped this figure as a deity were present in full force. Rousing, boisterous, tumultuous welcome ever given to any visiting or local celebrity, His Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie I, Emperor of Ethiopia, arrived. The crowd erupted into a frenzy of rejoicing as they broke through the lines of soldiers and police and surged out onto the tarmac, eager to engulf the Emperor with their affection. Ceremonial welcome that was planned had to be abandoned as the avalanche of men, women, and children swept away all semblance of order. Ethiopia, a monarchy on the eastern side of Africa, has been governed since 1930 by Haile Selassie, whom history records as being a direct descendant of King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. Jamaica was among the places visited by His Imperial Majesty on his tour of the Caribbean area. Huge crowds jostled for choice vantage points all along the route in the hope of seeing the Emperor. George VI Park, thousands also awaited his arrival. Cenotaph, His Imperial Majesty laid a wreath in memory of Jamaicans who gave their lives in both world wars. The tomb of the noted Jamaican patriot Marcus Garvey was also visited by the Emperor. official residence of the Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Sir Alexander Bustamante. The Emperor was introduced to Sir Alexander and Lady Bustamante by the acting Prime Minister, the Honourable Donald Sangster. The National Stadium was the scene of the civic welcome extended by the government of Jamaica to His Imperial Majesty. Prime Minister read the address of welcome.
Your Imperial Majesty, I have the great honor to express to you, on behalf of the government and people of Jamaica, a most warm and sincere welcome. This, your first visit to Jamaica, is for us, Your Majesty, a most important and significant event. We have long hoped for this occasion, and your presence with us today is assuredly, Your Majesty, a high point in our history.
Mr. Eustace Bird, one of the two KSAC commissioners, presented the keys of the city to the Emperor. His Imperial Majesty and his party were treated to displays staged by the military and young schoolgirls. The next stop for the royal party was King's House, the official residence of His Excellency the Governor-General, Sir Clifford Campbell. His Imperial Majesty was introduced to many dignitaries and members of the Rastafarian cult in full regalia. The Emperor afterwards presented gold medallions to the Rastafarians. Then it was our turn for gift-giving. At a formal reception at King's House, the government of Jamaica presented gifts to the Emperor and to his grandchildren, who accompanied him on the tour. Flanked by officials of state and the military, he was escorted across the lawns of King's House. There, on a balcony, he settled back to enjoy a Jamaican concert under the stars. resounding brass and crashing cymbals of massed bands heralded the opening of another session of Parliament at Gordon House. This session would be addressed by His Imperial Majesty. On his arrival, he was escorted to the saluting dais for the playing of the national anthems of Ethiopia and Jamaica. He was then ushered into the council chamber. The Emperor's address to the Assembly and people of Jamaica was in his native Amharic and was translated by a member of his party.
I had always wished to come and visit Jamaica. Now, thank God, this wish of mine has been fulfilled. Upon arrival to Jamaica, I have seen more than I had expected. I have seen the progress of the people, and I have seen their determination to march forward in unity towards greater progress. I have also witnessed personally the extent of the feeling of the Jamaican people to the Ethiopian people. Again, I wish to take this opportunity of expressing my thanks to the government and people of Jamaica for the fraternal reception that was accorded to me.
Among the academic institutions visited by His Imperial Majesty were Jamaica College, the College of Arts, Science and Technology, and Miko College. And here at Miko College, one of Jamaica's oldest teacher training institutions, he was met by the principal, Mr. Glenn Owen. Escorted inside, he was invited to sign the visitor's book. And a gift was presented to him by one of the pupils. The University of the West Indies is one of the institutions of which Jamaicans are justly proud. It covers 650 sprawling acres at the foot of the Long Mountains in St. Andrew, and it has recently been granted full independent status by the University of London. Members of the faculty, student body, and prominent citizens gathered to witness the ceremony in which the honorary degree of Doctor of Laws will be conferred on His Imperial Majesty. Dr. Philip Sherlock, Vice-Chancellor of the University, conferred the degree. The Emperor's reception for the Governor-General and people of Jamaica was held at the Sheraton Kingston Hotel. The atmosphere was cheerful and informal, as Jamaicans from all walks of life chatted and joked together and raised friendly glasses in a toast to the continued health and happiness of His Imperial Majesty. As a personal gift, the Emperor entrusted to the government the funds to erect a school. At the chosen site on Payne Avenue, hundreds gathered to witness the stone-laying ceremony. In appreciation of the Emperor's generosity, the government decided to offer a scholarship to an Ethiopian student tenable at the University of the West Indies. The foundation stone was laid by the Emperor himself.
from the conquering land of the God of Judah.
Chanting, placard-bearing Rastafarians swarmed all over the Kingston railway station as they awaited the arrival of the Emperor. This was the beginning of a journey by rail across the island to Montego Bay Airport, from which the Emperor and his party would depart. The train stopped briefly at Spanish Town, but the vast multitude, carried away by emotion and enthusiasm, broke out in a wild free-for-all in which several persons were injured. As he journeyed through the countryside, the Emperor was treated to glimpses of the Jamaican scenery. His Imperial Majesty made several stops at various towns along the route. Some of these included Denby, Williamsfield, Magatee, and Montpelier. There he met both prominent citizens and humble folk. He also saw something of our rich heritage of folk dancing. Bay, the scene was almost unbelievable. Thousands crammed the streets and lanes and carpeted the rooftops. Many of them were Rastafarians who had come from all over the island to catch a final glimpse of the Lion of Judah. When he was sighted, there went up a roar like the voice of 10,000 lions. At Montego Bay Airport, His Imperial Majesty was given the military honors that were thwarted on his arrival at the Palisadoes Airport by the overzealous welcome. Here, strong detachments of soldiers and police kept the huge crowds at bay. The time had come for us to say goodbye. The Emperor had spent 3 days with us, yet it seemed but a few fleeting moments. Haile Selassie, Emperor of Ethiopia, descendant of Solomon and Sheba, had touched the heartstrings of Jamaica as no other stranger had done. He had generated a tidal wave of emotion that had swept the length and breadth of our island and engulfed people with an enthusiasm and affection never before witnessed in the history of Jamaica.
This is the Cutting Edge on RFM. That was a synopsis, a little overview of the visit of Emperor Haile Selassie to Jamaica in 1966. Around this time, actually 21st of April. Very, very, as you hear the man say, never before Jamaica has ever seen Jamaican people. I talk about not just Rasta, the enthusiasm that was shown by the Jamaican people for this great man, Emperor Haile Selassie I, was never seen again in Jamaica. Never seen again in Jamaica. And we still, in this time, recognize Emperor Haile Selassie I. And it's not something that they're going to get rid of easily. Them not going to get rid of it easily. So we'll continue the journey. Yes. I tell you. Yeah, this is the Cutting Edge on RFM. We're going to take some call. Operator, can send in the call, them, you know. Believe you me. Feluke. Feluke, this is the Cutting Edge on RFM. Yes, Hill.
Greetings.
Blessed.
Mutabaruka.
Yeah, ma'am.
How are you, sir?
I'm okay.
You know who talking to you?
No.
Well, it's one of your old-time girlfriend in a long time now I've spoken to you.
You have to tell me more than that. Not enough girlfriend me have, so you have to tell me exactly which one.
Well, you see, my mother is a woman that really loves you, you know.
Okay.
You hear what she said? She said, only Rasta man she sees who is intelligent and here is Mutabaruka.
Because she don't hear me on the radio.
Yeah. She don't let nobody know how to Rasta about Mutabaruka. I don't know why.
I don't know why neither.
What you and my mother haven't talked to her, come on, but you know. Anyway.
Right. Give thanks.
You know, would they listen to, you know, your documentary?
The visit, His Majesty. The visit to His Majesty.
Very nice, you know.
Yeah, man, give thanks.
And the whole Rasta movement, you know, that's this long weekend and, you know, the whole choral gone. I was a little girl when all this thing I go on to, you know, coming out the whole world, you know, as you think.
Yeah, me is young too, me is a little while when it go on to. So
oh, no, you know, mother?
Yeah, me at 64.
Oh, you want a little while on me? You know, give thanks to the man.
All right.
Yeah, you know, and the sister Rasta really, we live the sister Rasta come govern the thing now, would I say? No, indeed.
Yeah, man, we are going through. Slowly but surely.
Give thanks. You know, it may not be everything, but it's a good sign, you know?
It's something, not everything, but something.
Yes, you know, it's really good, yeah, man.
Yeah, man, give thanks.
I don't free night, me upon tune, and I said, I just call up Mutabaruka night.
A good thing that you do, man, a good thing that you do.
Yeah. So give thanks,
yeah, man, give thanks, mama, give thanks.
More strength.
Aye.
Alright, yeah?
Aye.
Ian Muta.
Blessed man, Dingo, you do, man.
Yeah, good. Reminiscing when I hear you playing about Emperor Haile Selassie the first visit there in '66. Real memory lane. At the time, I was going to Campion College, and I remember that the Jesuit priests, they made us come out of the classes to line along Hope Road so that we could see the Emperor moving along. And as I said, the only regret that I have is that at the time I never thought of having a camera because his car was moving so slow. I would have been able to get at least 3 to 4 pictures. Yes, that would have been, those pictures would have been so precious now, but at least I saw Emperor Haile Selassie the first.
Them days, I'm there
close.
I'm there Wesley School. I'm going South Camp Road, right beside Palace there.
Right by Palace there. Yes,
and then I go up at stadium, go watch the whole things are going. So me can't tell you, I see him too. Them really.
Yeah, man. It was really good. And of course, the first place where we came in the Caribbean was Trinidad and Tobago on the 19th and 20th, and then spent about 2 hours at Barbados and come the same day, the 21st, the GAA, and then finish up with Haiti. Really great. And I want to hail up one of the listeners to the Cutting Edge program, my brethren Cecil Matthews from Jonestown. Cecil Matthews Thompson from Jonestown. Always listen to Cutting Edge, He lives in Rochester, upstate New York, my brethren. And it was his Earth Strong yesterday, Wednesday the 19th. And also the reggae phenomenon, my brethren, Big Youth, was his Earth Strong yesterday the 19th too,
Monday was Sizzla birthday. Monday was Sizzla birthday.
Yes, Monday was Sizzla Kalanji birthday. And a lot of people don't know that Augusttown was only renamed Augusttown, but the original name for it was African Hill. African Hill, so big up Sizzla Kalanji, from African Hill, where them rename Augusttown. And Steve O'Malley, Earth Strong is today, Thursday. Yes, Steve O'Malley. So if you can play a Steve O'Malley.
Steve O'Malley.
No cigarette there.
No, I play a Steve O'Malley with a Damian Marley, a brand new tune where the two of them make together named Medication. A brand new. Medication. Yes, Steve O'Malley and Damian Marley. No, medication. M-E-D.
Meditation. Okay, meditation.
Yo. Like doctor, medication, doctor give you medication.
Okay. Medication. Medication. And it was very interesting listening to the communists that you were reasoning with. Because it's the same long time thing from the 60s, me and you and Marcus Jr. and them with the same thing. That they don't see anything good in Mother Africa, our culture, our history and thing. Them always have to be coming from Europe. And you correctly say, nothing is wrong with kings and chiefs and that type of thing. Every society have that and so on. And Kwame Nkrumah.
When I'm saying fireborn king and chief, king and queen and chief, and fireborn that.
Yeah, but here's the thing about that too. A communist like Lenin, Trotsky, and so on, they never rejected the history of the European people, like with kings, queens, and those.
No, them never do that. You're mad, man.
They have never done that because they saw it correctly too as an important part of their history as to why they are where they are now. But this person, this communist, he is so anti-African. Because when he was in Africa, the Igbos and other people and so on, we had our own system where the community owned and controlled the land and so on. And this had nothing to do with any socialism or any communism.
Yeah, because even though the people don't rule, you still have chief.
Precise, and kings.
Yeah, you still have kings, and it's not.
Yes, because what happened to the difference between the kings in Europe and the kings
and other people in Africa is that the kings held land on behalf of the community, the people. In trust, which is completely different from the European model that he's trying to
take away the land from the people and make the hierarchy on it.
Precisely, and he's talking about the hierarchy. There has never been a communist society because it's a stateless society where he's talking about. And those countries that exist as socialist countries, they all have hierarchies.
Yeah, well, they must say them are not really communist country and socialist country. You don't have
no, that is true. They are socialist countries because there has never been a communist thing. And the thing about
wait, hold on. Him say, I asked him, show me what is the feedback there. You ever read their feedback, man?
No.
Then we have feedback. All right. I asked him if must show me a country where we can say this is an example of a socialist or a communist country. He said there's none. I say, all right, so if there's none of them, that means what you do, what you're saying is only something of the philosophy that you open could happen. But then we have things in Africa already where did that work for we before Europeans come there. Why can't we look at those things? Look at capitalism, look at communism, look at socialism and say, we as persons now who get trapped on here so now can draw from the different aspects of them thing there. That things can suit we. We can't slam bomb go take socialism, slam bomb go take communism, slam bomb go take capitalism and all these things. And we don't
all of them European ideology.
Yeah, it's
all of them European
ideology. It might come from Europe said we, you know. If you don't say we can't deal with capitalism because capitalism and it's a beginning that instead of we have fight against white supremacy, we should have fight against capitalism because white supremacy is come out of capitalism. Yet still within
but that is a lie because as you know, socialism like communism, their ideology and so does not address and deal with racism.
No, that's what did happen with Trevor Monroe them, When them come off and say the problem with the communists them in our Jamaica and is that them never deal with the race issue.
No, they try to ignore it and talk about class first.
Well, is that him that say too? Is that him that say no? Because him start to talk about now. You have poor people in Europe and poor people, white poor people and white poor this poor that now where as suffer said we. So we must now look at it not as a race first, but as something where it's capitalism and capitalism affect both white people and African people. Therefore, now we have to look at it on that level there. Rather than
but Muta, as you and I know, the total nonsense and folly, absolute in that, is that some of the most racist people that you have are poor so-called white people.
But that Marcus Garvey tell you, man.
But it is true. Then hold on, then Muta, the armies and navies of the European nations who invaded Africa.
Poor white people.
Who were the vast majority? It's poor Europeans.
Poor white people. Yeah.
Who came to the Caribbean and Africa, India and other places and so on, murder and rape people and so on. So it's not the few rich Europeans were able to do that. The majority of their armies were poor European people.
And if you
that's a total nonsense.
And if you go down if you go to America or go down in the South, racism is rampant amongst these redneck people who is where you call
who are poor,
farmer,
but them still racist.
Yeah, of course. So
this is the kind of nonsense and stupidity that these people who as Marcus Garvey Jr. said, they must find some European to look up to. They can't, the self-hatred is so deep, they don't want to admit it. They can't countenance something, or we as African people having a solution for ourselves. We must always have to depend on some European, whether in terms of physical support or mental support. It's a slave mentality. It's a slave mentality that this guy has. And if you notice, he's not interested in promoting anything to do with African culture.
Him say, no, when him show it's a king and queen business and where we come from, kings and queens are foolishness. Him say that foolishness.
But that is a total lie, because as you and I know, in every country, irrespective of race and so on, kings and queens is part of the process, part of the society and thing. And what you're going to do, because you have kings and queens, you must not acknowledge the inventions and the other kind of progresses that were made in those societies, because you had kings and queens. It's total stupidness. It's a slave mentality where them looking to Europeans at all time to think for them. You see, Kwame Nkrumah, he was another one, a communist, and he wrote a book called Conscientism.
Yeah, I remember you did.
And, right, Conscientism, exactly. I got it in the 60s, something. Yeah. And the only thing that him draw from his conscientism are the ideologies of European, the Marxists and others. No African frame of reference from Kwame Nkrumah. It's all European.
Well, all of them, most of the time, when those intellectuals was drawing from Marx and Lenin, from them time.
Precisely. Kwame Nkrumah, CLR, James George, Padmore, Du Bois, all of them. And this is why they hated Marcus Garvey so much. Because Marcus Garvey said we must draw from our own rich intellectual traditions. You know? No, man, a real slave mentality. And I'm glad you really put him in his place. And you notice them, as you are pointed out too, he's talking about, you have to point out that he's striving towards a communist society then, and so on, you know? I mean, like how is that going to work? You know what I'm saying? And it does not address the question of racism.
No,
because them can't go around that, you know. Because you can have a socialist society whereby you have the state, but racism still exists, because racism has a dynamic of its own. It has nothing to do with economics. Because someone who acts in a racist way to you, them don't need no economics to do that. And remember, the first racist society in history was in India with the caste system, where the word for caste is Varna, V-A-R-N-A, which literally means what color you are. So racism was thousands of years before capitalism. These people are falsifying history to try to fulfill their myopic and, you know, silly so-called ideology of emancipation for our people, when it's mental slavery to depend on Europeans. You know, and thing, you know. So I'm really glad you deal with him, and I know whenever he phones again, you will continue on the same theme where that is concerned, because in Africa, the kings and the queens, they did not own land per se. They were just the custodians
for the land,
for the people.
For the people.
You know, the Igbo and so on. You know, no, we must not allow our people to be miseducated into being intellectual slaves to the Europeans, be they socialists, communists, or capitalists, because we know race first, as Marcus Garvey said.
But most of the communists, them, all right, when the Black Panther movement rise up, you know, it started to adopt that kind of communist socialist principle too, you know. And you see what happened to them within the level of socialism, according to what them I say. Them never pinpoint no African thing, you know. The Black Panther movement wasn't about Africa, it was about social things in America. Like, them a look for a social order for govern black people in them.
Malcolm X saying black nationalists, but then the communists and socialists infiltrated and said if they do not renounce and denounce black nationalism, then they will not aid them financially and otherwise. And this was why shortly afterwards they came out and denounced black nationalism and said that they are Marxist-Leninists. It's there in their papers and their records.
No, I remember.
They were forced to.
Yeah, I remember, man.
Yes. So they started out as black nationalists, and then the same dependency complex, the communists and socialist Europeans say, if you want our support financially, and the Maoists to Chinese, then you have to denounce black nationalism, which they feared.
Yeah.
And so they came out and they denounced it. Huey Newton, Bobby Seale, and the rest.
Yeah.
And then they were used as cannon fodder, and they were imprisoned and murdered because they were used by these European communists.
And the Europeans them spread drugs amongst them. Huey Newton, no drugs. Him get caught with man and kill him.
Exactly, because afterwards he became a drug addict, and he was killed by a next gang that was involved in drugs and that type of thing. So this is the situation they were used by this. And anybody reading Marcus Garvey's philosophy and opinions will see that the enemies of Marcus Garvey were both capitalists, socialists, and communists who were opposed to his practical ideology of race first, that we as African people must see about our business, socially, politically, economically, spiritually, and otherwise.
No more than ever, Bridget. No more than ever.
More than ever, and we'll not stop saying that, and we will not be misled, because we have emancipated ourselves from mental slavery, as Marcus Messiah Garvey said. You know what I mean?
Give thanks, Bridget. Give thanks.
Give thanks, Muta. Keep up the work.
Yeah, man.
Africa forever. Marcus Garvey forever. No change. Forward ever. Backward never.
Give thanks. Yes, I mean, the whole talk of communism and socialism, you know, I mean, as a youth, I go to school, I sit down and listen to the communists them, I sit down and listen to the Marxists them, and when I look on them agenda, it never have no black nationalism or Pan-Africanism in it. Never. As you, them used to tell me, so we are escapists because now we are come side Rasta. These communists, when we go to them place, them say, as school youth, in a Rasta is escapism. Marcus Garvey is an escape thing from the reality of the situation. Well, you know, well, look at where we this are now. A Rasta, we still say, you know, and we still a search African redemption, Pan-Africanist struggle, and them switch now. Ghana capitalism, left them communist doctrine and socialist doctrine, and Ghana capitalism. You know, see it. So, we're there, the struggle continue. And the Vatican City, serious thing.
Of acts of faith. And you are listening to Mutabaruka.
Man called Dean Fraser. A house is not a home. I tell you, man, the man they blow and serious, brand new, Marjorie. You know, you listen to some music and you can't see why the people them gravitate towards that kind of music outside of Jamaica. And you can say, why is it that some music lasts forever? And you can keep hearing it again and again and it's so new said way. So I don't know if anybody are learning any lessons from that. Where the music should go and where it is going now. Leave much to be desired. When we check it. Much to be desired. While the youth them listen to the music and think carefully. Use your sensibility and see what is being done right now and what you should be doing to advance this music, this reggae music, this music that has given so much things to the world, liberate so much mind, Yes, so I remind you of things that is taking place for the 50th anniversary of the commemoration of the visit of Haile Selassie to Jamaica. Friday, Neville Hall. Really reflection on the visit. 12 Tribe will be having a concert as usual up at Hope Road. Everybody know where the organization headquarters there. It is good to think on certain things and feel a certain energy that emanate from certain historical references and certain historical points. There's so much of them. But one of them is the visit of Haile Selassie to Jamaica. Whether he's a Rasta or not, that was really something else. Reflect on these things. Understand that Rastafari commitment to Africa and to the spirituality that he now define himself in. It's not an ignorant thing. I don't know, ignorance, it come out a search for identity. The need to be identified in a space that does not allow for self-identification. And the Rastafari Brethren and Sisters has carved out a space for themselves and those who want to come into that space. They have carved out a space to liberate minds, African minds, from white supremacy and colonialism that still exists. And even sometimes we have to say even worse now. Religiously, that helps strengthen the vibration. Why you them up, why you little people in Canada, why you little sister who say we are come to Canada later down in the area, why you are up? Yes. We have that pan with agenda. We have that pan with agenda. We want to dedicate this song to all the sisters them who are listening to this program right now. Right now. We have to dedicate them song to them. Right until it stops. Asking the question.
You don't even know your name.
Nothing at all, you don't know. And you're going like you're both a slave. What a terrible thing you do. Both a slave, wake up. Wake up, both a slave, wake up. And why you up Jody from down and me hungry.
And upliftment for the youth. Parents, please follow suit.
Endorses our sponsors for the upcoming health fair Thursday, April 20th. They are Consumer Brands Limited, General Food Supermarket, Northeast Regional Health Authority, Glenn's Restaurant and Tower Cloisters, Adpa Bookshop, Veronique's Day Spa and Wellness Center, Beauty Statement, Otrius Carpet Center, Tropical Kitchens, Otrius Commercial Center, Sony's Plaza, and Irie FM.
With Mutabaruka, we are listening to our laments. You know here, continent, the edge.
Yeah.